Mr.Falcon!
Alright, now this video is going to be a bit of a quick, almost spur of the moment type manga recommendation video, as unlike a lot of my other recommendations, the 4 series I'm recommending in this video are all fairly new, each being under 20 chapters as of this recording. I usually like either finishing or at least waiting until a series is well into its run before doing a recommendation for the sake of having a good idea of what the series is all about, as well as just having a lot more to say about it. However, I came across these mangas all around the same time, and with their comedy and wild premises, I just couldn't help but talk about them now. So here are 4 random comedy manga recommendations for you all to enjoy. First up, we have an extremely attractive gorilla, a manga I can best describe as being like the series Haven't You Heard I'm Sakamoto, only instead of being about a handsome and perfect high schooler, it follows a handsome and perfect gorilla, whose actual name is Gorilla. An ape so charming and skilled he can make every girl he comes across fall for him, calm the hearts of any delinquent, and do some crazy drifts on the road. And also talk, I think? Seeing a handsome gorilla just being perfect in every way, as well as everyone else's extreme reaction to all this, is pretty much what you can expect from this manga series. But I've been having a really good time with it. This starting chapters here just had Gorilla walking around and helping out some lady in some extraordinary way, which in turn makes them fall for him. But in recent chapters, Gorilla has joined high school, where the story and comedy for each chapter have gone a lot more varied, and even more outrageous if you can believe that. However, one thing I absolutely love about this manga that adds more to the humor is that Gorilla is always the most detailed character in the entire series. The early chapters of the series had some pretty rough art, but Gorilla is always hyper detailed, and the contrast is just funny at times. It's a simple series, but with how funny and crazy some of the recent chapters have been, I'm definitely looking forward to more of this one. Up next, we have a series known as Bad Girl Exorcist Reina, a manga I initially started reading due to its perfect summary. Delinquent girl Reina makes ghosts fuck off. Which honestly is not too far from the truth here. Expanding on that summary, Reina is an intimidating transfer student who quickly becomes her new school's top delinquent. However, a lot of her actions around the school and against fellow classmates are a bit misunderstood, as she is actually an exorcist. So what seems like her causing havoc around school and bullying others is just her trying to get rid of evil spirits. But instead of using mystic powers or chanting, she just bullies the absolute crap out of them till they eventually, as the original summary so majestically put it, fuck off. Which, as you can imagine, leads to a lot of hilarious misunderstandings for Reina, though not that she really cares, so as long as the ghosts are dealt with. And she really holds no punches here, leading to some surprisingly brutal beatdowns. Reina is a lot more menacing than the various ghosts she goes up against, though that's not to say the spirits in this manga aren't scary. I mean, sure, there are a few that were played off for laughs, but there's a good amount of panels here that genuinely feel a bit creepy and set up the horror just well enough until Reina comes in and just bullies the ghost out of existence. I'm really looking forward to reading more of this series, as I'm loving its violent mix of delinquent comedy and supernatural horror. And if the series plays its cards right, there's definitely a lot of mileage it could get out of this concept. Now our next manga here I feel has the most potential to bloom into something super hilarious down the line, and is probably the main reason for me making this video, being Send My Regards to Kenshiro, which I immediately had to read after I learned what the story was about. The story here follows a guy swearing revenge upon a Yakuza thug after stealing away his mom at a young age. However, the way he goes about this is trying to learn Hokuto Shinken by reading a lot of Fist of the North Star, and also just working out a bunch. But really, that can only take a person so far, as he brutally and hilariously finds out after he confronts the Yakuza. Instead of giving up on his vengeance, however, he decides to further embrace his Hokuto Shinken method of revenge by learning more about the human body and its pressure points, by becoming a professional masseuse. And quite the masterful one, even earning himself a hot apprentice along the way. Now, as a fan of Fist of the North Star, this whole concept was hilarious and I just had to read it. But what got me even more excited for this series was that it was being done by Jasmine Gya. I think that's how you say that. who was the same mangaka behind Backstreet Idol, which I found to be very crude but gut-busting hilarious, with its anime adaptation probably being one of the funniest anime series I watched back in 2018, and this series seems to have that same sense of crude and over-the-top humor, which I really enjoy. Also, I'm not sure if there's a name for this particular brand of comedy, but I just love comedy series that have really serious dudes getting into the wackiest shit imaginable. Maybe it's the contrast of the scenarios or something, but to me it's just forever hilarious, and something that definitely makes up a lot of my favorite comedies. Which is also something that could be found in the last manga I'll be talking about in this video, being Gokudou Parasite, which follows a clumsy detective and a Yakuza boss working together stopping crime and trying to uncover some shady secrets. However, this all really came about as our Yakuza boss one day mysteriously shrank to the size of a bug in front of our detective here, leading to them living together and trying to figure out what happened. Which that alone already makes for tons of hilarious moments. Again, going back to that tough guy comedy I really like, and also, I mean, come on, we have a pocket-sized Yakuza here who can still kick ass. How is that not absolutely hilarious and awesome? Also, out of the bunch of mangas I'm recommending in this video, this one probably has the most story to it, as there is the whole mystery to the shrinkage here, as there is a slight possibility that our mini Yakuza may have been double-crossed by one of his own. And that about wraps it up for this video. I was actually in the middle of scripting my first proper tokusatsu recommendation video, but then after reading all 4 of these series practically around the same day, I decided to make a real quick video on them. Since I really enjoyed them, and these days especially, I feel a good laugh is something definitely valuable. So I hope you enjoyed this video and maybe go out to read one of these fine comedies. And as always, I am Mr. FalconPunch. Peace out and stay safe.